We'll start the paper discussion of vector's path after 2 minutes. Go through the paper once. Keep the paper with you. Go through the questions. Okay? So that while discussing, you can have an idea of which question we are discussing. Yes, everyone. That's fine. Okay. Now, chat. I think already we have discussed around 10 questions. How many? How many have completed? 11 over. Okay, then 13th one. Yes, anyone has a doubt in 13? Do you have any doubt? You can raise your hand. No problem? 13th one. So the question is, yes, look at your question papers. Those who are not having question paper, listen carefully. A man travels 1 mile due east, then 5 miles due south, then 2 miles due east, and finally 9 miles due north. His displacement is. To understand this, we have discussed about direction based questions. Okay? Direction based questions. Vectors. Try to draw a pictorial representation for the given data. The question is, a man travels 1 mile due east. First, try to have an idea of how to represent directions in 2 dimensions. Usually we represent this as east, west, north and south. Right? So, initially a person started from somewhere at point A and traveled to east 1 mile. 1 mile. So this is east, towards east. This is point B. 1 mile. Then 5 miles due north. Due east means towards east. Due north means towards north. North means from here exactly in this direction. Right?
Sir, south.
Sorry? South. 5 miles due south, okay, it's down, not up, down. So if you say, for understanding purpose and pictorially also, try to represent the length of these lines carefully. Let us say this is A, this is B, so this is 1 unit. Plus due south 5 miles means its length 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to draw means accordingly you have to draw as per the scale. Otherwise you have to understand carefully. So, due south as a travel 5 miles. You can as per the scale which we have to understand carefully. So, let us say this is C, so the 5 minutes. Due south. Then 2 miles due east. From here again 2 miles due east he has traveled. Okay? So, this is point D, let us say. From there, as a travel, finally 2 miles due east, and finally 9 miles due north. 9 miles due north. When north means up. So how many? 9 miles. This is 5. So he has to cover 5. So to cover 9 miles from here, this line, how many? 4 miles up. So the total is, of course, total is 9. From here to here is 9. But in this, from here to here is 5. This is 4 only. This is 4. You understand? So 9 miles due north. Now his displacement is the question. So what we have to understand is these are different vectors. We are asked to find the resultant. So in this kind of scenarios, you have to find the final displacement vector. Displacement is nothing but the shortest distance between initial and final positions. So this is initial position, this is final position. If I draw a straight line between initial and final positions, this gives the displacement. But to understand what is this, you have to treat this horizontal line is one side, this is another side of a triangular shape is forming here. This you can name this is a point A, B, C, D, E, F, something like that. So here A, F, E is a triangular triangle. From here to here is 1 mile, and this is how much? 2 miles. So this is also 2. This 2 means this also will be 2. So total length of this side is how much? 3. This is 4. This is 3. This is 4. If you apply Pythagoras theorem, this will be 5. Is it clear, everyone? So that will be nothing but your displacement. And what is the direction of this? That also the direction is asked, only displacement value is asked. Displacement, only the magnitude is given in the options. So no need to worry about it. If the direction is also mentioned, then you have to be careful about it. So with respect to east, you can say this will be the angle theta. So you can say tan theta in terms of sin theta, you can represent this direction in terms of any tan theta, sin theta or cos theta, because you know this side, this and this side. So in terms of tan theta, you can take tan theta is equal to opposite side Cartesian side. This is 4, this is 3. 4 by 3. Theta is equal to tan inverse of 4 by 3. 4 by 3 with respect to east, or you can say not of east. Of east means from east. Or you can take sine also. Sine theta is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. 4 by 5. Theta equals sine inverse of 4 by 5. North of east. Or 3 by 5. Cos inverse of 3 by 5. North of east. Like this also you can mention the direction. But direction is not answered there. If it is asked, you have to answer this one. Okay? Keep that in mind. Next. Question number 15. Is done? Anyone is having doubt in the 15th one? 15th one? This side? Any doubt? Next. 17th one? 17th. Right. Listen. It is given that in 17th question it is given that the greatest and least resultant of two forces acting at a point are 29 kg Wt means it is also unit of force. What is the unit of force? Newton. It is actually called as a conventional unit of force. There is one more unit of force is there, we call it as gravitational unit. So gravitational unit in SI system is kg weight. CGS system is gram weight. You have to remember that. Okay. So the greatest and the least resultant of two forces acting at a point are 29 kg weight and 5 kg weight respectively. If each force is increased by 3 kg weight, the magnitude and the resultant of new forces acting on, the magnitude of the resultant of new forces acting at right angles to each other is. First, you have to find what are the forces. So, what is given here and what you are asked to find should be clear first. What is given here is the greatest and least resultant of two forces. You have to remember that if two vectors, force is a vector. Okay? If any two vectors are given, the magnitudes are given, and the direction is also mentioned. The maximum resultant when you will obtain, minimum resultant when you will obtain. Means you have to keep in mind that maximum resultant will be obtained when they are parallel to each other. Parallel means theta is 0. Theta is 0. Resultant will be maximum. When theta is equal to 180, the resultant will be minimum. So if you have two forces, resultant is maximum means R is equal to F1 plus F2. They will add up. Whereas in theta equal to 180, R will be expressed as F1 minus F2. So the resultant will be minimum. Is it clear? The two forces F1 and F2 are given. What are the values of F1 and F2 is given here? The 17th question. The greatest and least resultants are given. R, you can take this as R1, this is R2. Right? So that is F1 plus F2 is equal to how much? 29 kg weight. And F1 minus F2 is equal to 5 kg weight. So options are also given in kg weight, so no need to convert here. If the options are given in Newton, then you should have to convert. You should have converted, but here you no need to convert, the same units only you can take it. Now you can take both the forces. Now, if F1 plus F2 is this, F1 minus F2 is this, are given, and what we are asked to find is under one condition. What is that? If each force is increased by 3 kg weight, that is F1 dash, if we take, is initial F1 plus 3 kg weight, and F2 dash is equal to F2 plus 3. If each force is increased by 3 kg weight, the magnitude of the resultant of these two forces, magnitude of resultant of the new forces acting at right angles, if they are making theta is equal to 90, what is the resultant? New resultant is the question. Question is clear? What is given is clear? Now what you have to do first is, you have to first find F1, F2. Then you have to add 3, you get F1 dash, F2 dash. Then you have to find the resultant of these two as R dash and theta equal to 90. That is the question. How to find F1, F2 as this is given as 29, this is given as 5. Units are same, only to worry about the units. So if you add these two, what do you get? What do you get? F2, F2 cancel. F1 plus F1. F1 is equal to how much? 34. So F1 is equal to, so if this is 1, this is 2. So you can take 1 plus 2 gives you, here you can take, separately take here, 1 plus 2 gives or implies 2F1 is equal to 34, and hence F1 is equal to how much? How much? 2 ones, 2 sevens, 17 kg weight is F1. Is this clear? How to get F1? Similarly, how to get F2? If you add, you get this minus plus comes cancel and you got this one. If you subtract, you get another one, or substitute this in any one of these two. So you get, you want F2, right? Take F2 here, it becomes plus F2, bring it here, F1 minus 5, 17 minus 5 how much? 12. So you can write from equation 2, you get F, or any for any you can get the same. F2 is equal to 12 kg weight. F1 is 17, F2 is equal to 29 minus 17, 12. Yes? So this first you have to find out F1, F2, first step. Second step, find out F1 dash, F2 dash. What is F2 dash? F1 dash. F1 dash is equal to F1 plus 3. F1 is 17. 17 plus 3 is F1 plus 3 is equal to 20. And F2 dash. F2 plus 3 is equal to 12 plus 3, 15. Kg weight. Is this step clear? Now, these are the new forces which are acting at this angle. Theta equal to 90. And what is R dash? Square root of, according to parallelogram law of accretion. What is that? F1 dash square plus F2 dash square plus 2 F1 F2 cos 90. What is cos 90? Cos 90 is 0. Cos 90 is 0. So that will cancel out. So you can write here R dash is equal to square root of F1 dash square plus F2 dash square plus 2 F1 F2 cos 90, as cos 90 is 0, so that term becomes 0. So you get F1 dash square plus F2 dash square is equal to square root of F1 dash is over 20. 20 square plus F2 dash 15. 15 square is how much? 20 square is 400. 15 square is 225. 625. Square root of 625 is 25. So it is equal to 25 units. So R dash is equal to 25 kg weight. Is little lengthy question actually. Okay. So few questions will be given like this also, because in main NEET pattern we will be having two sections. First section very easy and average questions will be given. In the second section little lengthy questions will be given to check your practice and your how can you do it, your subject and knowledge, everything will be tested in section 2, section B. So whoever will do better in section 2 will be actually the rank holders. Okay, so but section 1 usually will be little easy level questions will be given in section 1. And section will be easy section. Okay, right. I'll copy this everyone. Next. Question number 19. 19? Yes, look, quickly. 19th one. Find the magnitude of resultant of the vectors shown in figure. It is given that Z is x-axis, Z is y-axis, Z is O. It is given that there is a vector having magnitude of 5 centimeters at an angle of 37 degree. And there is again shown that another vector is there whose magnitude is 3 centimeters, and there is another vector is there whose magnitude is 4 centimeters in this direction. 4 centimeters. So the question is, find the magnitude of resultant of the vector shown in figure. Magnitude of resultant of the vector shown in figure. Are you following this everyone? So what you have to do? You can do this in two different ways. One is by using graphical method, another is by using another analytical method also can be used, because the values numerical values are given here. And by using graphical method, if you say the Z is initial point, Z is final point, if the magnitude only if you ask, then you can directly write. Okay? So here Z is 5, right? You will find the magnitude of this part, and you have to add the magnitude to this magnitude and this magnitude, then you get the resultant. Are you following this everyone? Yes? Whereas the other method is, this is 3, this is 4. Yes? This is given as 5, right? But here we have to be very careful actually. If you are using graphical method, simply, but this is making an angle of 37. If you find here this resultant part, this angle will be different, guys. Okay, this angle will be different actually. So this will be 53. That we will see later on. So how to get that? And another thing, you know, if you have a triangle with 3, 4, 5, this angle will be, this is 5. This will be 53, but this is 37 with horizontal. This is 53 with horizontal. Directly you can add them. So you have to be little careful if you are using graphical method. So if you use analytical method, it is little easy. How to do by using analytical method is, let us say there are 3 vectors. This is A vector, B vector, C vector. And following this A vector, B vector, C vector. Resultant vector is equal to A vector plus B vector plus C vector. And here, all the vectors are in xy plane. So we have to write this in xy components. That is ax I plus ay j. B vector is along x-axis only, so it will have only x component. So you can take it as bx I cap. C vector is along y-axis only, it will have only y component. So cy j cap. Is this step clear? If it is clear, then things will be very simple. Right? A vector is making an angle with the x-axis, so it will have x component and y component. So we have written this as AXI plus AYJ. Whereas B vector is along x-axis only, which will have only x component. For the vector lying along x-axis, y component will be 0. Y component will be 0. The vector lying on y-axis will have only y component. X component will be 0. That you have to keep in mind. If you want, you can write as a note. You can write here as a note. The vector lying along x-axis. For the vector lying along x-axis, y component will be 0. For the vector lying along x-axis, y component will be 0. For the vector lying along x-axis, y component will be 0. Y and z component also 0. Y and z components will be 0. Only it will have x component. Y and z components will be 0. Y and z components will be 0. And vice versa. Means for the vector lying along y-axis, other components will be 0. Means x and z components will be 0. The vector lying along z-axis, x, y components will be 0. Now, you see here, this is acting along only x-axis, so it will have only x component. This is acting along y-axis, it will have only y component, that is given by j cap component. Now, what is this ax, ay? A is given, magnitude is given. What is ax and ay? Ax is, this is a cos theta. Ax is a cos theta. Theta is this. A magnitude is given. So here they have to write separately in the figure. Ax is equal to a cos theta. Here this is equal to a is 5. 5 cos theta is 37. Then ay is a sin theta is equal to 5 sin 37. Is this step clear? Right? Then we get 5 into cos 37 how much? So ax is equal to 5 into cos 37. This is 37 means you have to you should also remember that cos 37, 37, 53 are also standard angles, trigonometric angles I told. Yes, you should remember these values. If you didn't remember, try to remember this what do you call? This one is a triangle, 3, 4, 5 triangle. So if it is 53, this will be 90, this will be 37. Cos 37 means adjacent by hypotenuse. 4 by 5 is cos 37. So cos 37 is 4 by 5, 5 by cancel is equal to 4. Ay is equal to 5 sin 37. Sin 37, this is 37, sin 37 is opposite side by hypotenuse. So this is 3 by 5, 3 by 5, 5 by cancel we get 3. So we get ax, ay as 4 and 3. Is this, these points are clear? Then we can write 4i plus ay is 3, 3j plus bx is how much? 3. Bx here is 3 and cy is 4. Substitute 3i plus cy is 4, 4j. So 2i components are there, 2j components are there. Add them. 4i plus 3j, sorry 4i plus 3i, 7i, 3j plus 4j plus 7j. 7i plus 7j is your resultant vector. This is vector. They are asking to find the magnitude only, right? So the magnitude of this is r is equal to square root of this square plus this square. 7 square plus 7 square. 49 plus 49. 249. Or you can say 49 taken out. Sorry. So 2 7 square also can write. 1 7 if you can take it out. We get 7 root 2. 7 how? 2 7 square. 2 into 7 square. 7 square plus 7 square. 2 7 square. 7 square you can bring out. Becomes cancel. Root and square will cancel out. So 7 if it comes out, you get 2 only here. Root 2. 7 root 2. Or you can also write 49 plus 49. Right? 2 into 49. 2 into 49. 49 root is 7. You take it out. So root 2 root 2. This is how you have to do it. So this resultant magnitude is 7 root 2. Okay? Yes. So this is how you have to work out this kind of questions. Are you able to follow the steps in the board, or do you want me to do little with the big font? The font size is okay. Are you able to understand clearly? Is it visible? Next. Question number 21. Yes, how many did this? How many did 23? 21 we'll see later. 23.
Sir, in this sum, how we are surely saying that B is directly parallel to Y and B is directly parallel to X.
How can you say B is parallel to X and C is parallel to Y?
Just seeing the figure, we cannot say for sure also. There is no information provided.
By seeing the figure, you cannot say.
We cannot say. We cannot say.
It's not enough to give a line parallel to X axis.
Sir,
Is there any tilt is there? Any orientation is there?
sir, no sir. We tell this.
That gives clear picture. There will be no confusion. Right? It is in the first thing it is given that the first line is making an angle of 37 degrees with X axis. So it is not along X and Y. That is clear. So another one is exactly parallel to X axis means you have to consider it is along X axis. It is not making any angle. If it is making an angle, should you have given, right? This is given. For first case it is given 37 clearly. Next case it is not given means it has to be parallel. Otherwise the angle will be given. It is not given means it is parallel. If parallel means it will not be mentioned as 0. It will not be mentioned. You have to understand. Right? If it is other than 0, then the angle will be given. In the first case as 37. Next, 47. The third one is 4. It is perpendicular. If it is not it is not along the y-axis, the angle will be given. It is not given means it is perfectly along y-axis. Okay? Right. Next question number 23. So, S23. Yes. Any doubt? Yes, anyone? 23. So quickly, two forces each of 20 Newton act on a body at 120 degree. The magnitude and direction of the resultant is magnitude and direction both were asked to find. So this is direct substitution in case of what is called parallelogram law. By using parallelogram law, can I erase this? This one?
The same.
So according to parallelogram law, if we have any two vectors, the angle between them is theta, and if they represent two sides of a parallelogram, so at that point it is no need to worry about if they are representing sides of parallelogram or not. If you have any two vectors, the angle between them is theta. The resultant magnitude is given by the two vectors are P and Q. The angle between them is theta. The resultant magnitude is given by R is equal to square root of V square plus Q square plus 2P2 cos theta. You have to remember that. Yes. If you have any two vectors and if the angle between them is some theta, that may be 30 degrees or 45 degrees or 60 degrees, any angle, or 120 degrees also. If you have two vectors, there is some angle between them and the magnitude of resultant is given by square root of b square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. Or you can write a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, or f1 square plus f2 square plus 2f1 f2 cos theta. The names you can change. That's it. So here it is given that two forces f1 f2 each of 20 newtons, both are equal. f1 is equal to f2 is equal to how much? 20 newton. They are acting on a body at 120 degree. So theta is equal to 120 degree. Two forces each of 20 Newton act on a body at 120. Act on a body at 120 means the angle between these two is 1. Got it? Then the resultant magnitude and direction of the resultant is Substitute. Then P, F1 is P, F2 is Q. P equal to Q equal to 20. Theta is 120. Theta is 120. So what is R? What is R? Substitute. 20 square plus 20 square. Square root of 20 square plus 20 square plus 2 into 20 into 20. Again, 20 square into cos 120. What is cos 120, guys? Cos 120 can be expressed as 90 plus 30. Cos 90 plus 30. 90 plus second quadrant. Cos is negative in second quadrant. 90 plus means sin will get sin 30. So minus sin 30 is half. Minus half. So you can take this as minus half. So 2 cancel. So minus 20 square. 20 square plus 20 square minus 20 square. Minus 20 square plus 30.
Minus root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2.
Cos 120 can be expressed as cos 90 plus 30. 90 plus comes in second quadrant. The second quadrant cos is negative. So cos 90 plus means automatically sin will come. 90 plus or minus means sin will come. 180 plus or minus function will not change. Yes or no? So then the angle sin 30. So minus sin 30 is how much? Sin 30. 1 by 2. Okay? Yes? So that's why you have to remember, you have to practice all these basic trigonometric relations. So then you substitute here, there's 20 square cancel, only 120 square remains here. So R is equal to 20 square comes out of the root and becomes 20 units. Is there any such option? 20. Yes, only one option is there. 20. Yes. And then automatically you can find the direction of this. So angle between them is given as 120. Then you can take actually alpha. Direction of resultant with respect to the first one. First one is tan inverse half. If P and Q, then with respect to P means you will get Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta with respect to P. So here with respect to horizontal one. So it is equal to, you can take both are equal in magnitudes. Theta is given as 120. Substitute, then you simplify, you will get how much? Sin cos 120 is minus 1 by 2. Sin 120, I can write. Sin 120 is sin 90 plus 30. So 90 plus comes in second quadrant side is positive, so plus. So for sin 90 plus it becomes cos. So 30. So cos 30 is root 3 by 2 plus root 3 by 2. So you can take this as tan inverse of the Q is 20 into root 3 by 2 by P. P is 20 plus Q is also 20 into cos 120 is minus 1 by 2. And I have discussed here minus 1 by 2. So here what it becomes? 20 into minus 1 by 2? Minus 10 now. Is it minus 10? Minus 10, 20, 2 cancel, minus 10, 20 minus 10, 10. But 0 is 0 cancel, 2 cancel, tan inverse of root 3 is equal to tan inverse of root 3. So for what angle you will get root 3? No 2's, right? Only root 3 remains. So these calculations you have to practice, guys. And maybe doing little faster, but you have to follow that carefully. You have to practice. Okay? If you are not practicing, you will feel, oh, I was doing something I am not understanding. This kind of feeling will come. If you have to practice number of times, then only that quick calculation, what you call ability can improve, and you can also follow when I am telling little quickly. During paper discussion, you cannot discuss very slowly every question. You have to do very quickly. So because to discuss the 40 questions in at least 1 hour, you have to do very quickly. You cannot spend 5 minutes for each question or 10 minutes for each question. Right? So you get 10 minutes of root 3. For what I need 10 will be root 3. Right? Tan theta is sin theta by cos theta. Sin 60 by cos 60. That will also can compare it and cross check. So it is, so alpha is equal to 60 degree. That will be the answer. Right. Next. It is question number, which question it is? 23. It is question number 23. Next, 25. Anyone is having confusion in 25? 25? Right. 27. 27. Yes. This side. Here. 29. 29. 29. Yeah. The question is, two forces P and Q act at an angle of 120 degree with each other. If the resultant is at right angles to P and P is equal to 4 kg, then the value of Q is, right? Can I erase this one? So, question number 27. 27. So the question is 29. 29th one. Right? That's it. 7. Let's see. First, let's finish this. 29th one. It is given that what is your problem? 27. Okay. Anyway, so 29th one. 29th one. It is given that two forces P and Q act at an angle of 120 with each other. There are two vectors P and Q. The angle between them is theta is equal to 120. Okay. If the resultant is at an angle, right angles to P, the resultant is at right angles to P. So how to consider these vectors? You have to just get some idea. So angle between the vectors is 120 means, so one vector will be this. Usually, by drawing the angle, by mentioning the angle, you have to align the vectors tail to tail form. You have to align the vectors tail to tail form. This is P, Q is like this. So if the angle between them is 120 means you shouldn't draw angle here like this. You have to align them tail to tail, or a shift and you have to keep it here. Then it will be like this, then it cannot be 120, right? 120 means 90 plus 30. So this is 90. So somewhere in this direction the vector should act. So that you should get that idea, conceptual idea. So then you have to realize that Q will be somewhere in this direction. Is that clear, everyone? So this is 90. This is 90. Then this is P. This is Q. The angle between these two is 90 plus 30. So total angle should be 120. That is how you have to understand the angle between them. Now, this is P. This is Q. According to what? Parallelogram law. If you construct parallelogram, resultant should be diagonal passing through common origin. So, parallel sides. If you consider one more parallel side here, this very another parallel side here. So this forms parallelogram. Now, here one diagonal you can consider, another diagonal you can consider here. But here it is given that the resultant is not along the diagonal, but it is actually speaking. Here we have to construct this little carefully. Magnitudes should be in such a way that we have to little this. It is possible in the case of, say, this is P, this is Q, so that if you construct a parallelogram and this is the one, so that this will be the common diagonal, will give you the resultant. This resultant will be perpendicular to P. That is the given condition. So that means this is the resultant. This is the resultant. Did you understand? You have to understand the magnitudes of this given vector forms accordingly, guys. So I am giving in this way. This is P, this is Q. So the resultant is this. It should be around the diagonal passing to the common origin, and it is perpendicular to P. So this is the given condition. Now what we are asked to find is, if P is equal to 4, if P is equal to 4 kg weight, and what is Q is the question. Resultant value is also given. The resultant is at right angles to P and P, and P is equal to 4 kg weight are only given. The value of resultant is not given, only P is given. That is the question. So theta is given as 1. Yes, how to find this, guys? By using parallelogram law, magnitude of resultant. You know, R is equal to, we are asked to find, what is this? Two vectors P and Q are at right angles and 120 to each other. If the resultant is at right angles to P, then if P is given, then what is Q? Can you find out by using the result, what you call magnitude of resultant formula? Yes? Yes, guys. P is, now this is right angles to this. Theta is 90. Square root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ is 2PQ cos theta. Theta is 90, means that cos 90 will be 0. The term will vanishes. The term will vanishes. So then what do you get here? So it is mentioned, it is not mentioned that the P and the resultant, the relation between resultant and only one of those vectors, right? You can take this as P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta under root. This part will become 0. So P is given. You can take this as R square is equal to this 4 square plus Q square is equal to R square. So we write it as Q square is equal to R square minus 4 square. R here, this is 4, P is 4. Can you consider this angle is 90? Can you consider the magnitudes the other way? On this? Yes, guys. See, here it is given that resultant is making an angle of 90 with P. So instead of using this, if you take tan alpha is equal to Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta form. Here alpha is the direction of resultant with respect to P. Yes. So here alpha is given, P is given, and we can say theta is also given. Theta is also given. Yes. So by substituting this, can you find Q? Just do it. Do it yourself. So you can say tan alpha is how much? 90. Tan 90 is how much? Tan 90. Sin 90 by cos 90. Not defined. Let us take it as, you can take it as, what is that? 1 by 0 or infinity is equal to Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta. You take this here. So P plus Q cos theta is equal to 1 by infinity, you can take it as 0. Yes? 0 or not? It is supposed to be 1 by tan 90 is equal to 1 by tan 90 is nothing but cot 90. It is equal to 0. So you can take this as if it is 0 means you can take P is equal to minus Q cos theta, or Q cos theta is equal to minus P. So Q is equal to minus P by cos theta. P is minus 4 and cos theta. Theta is 120. Cos 120 is minus 1 by 2. So minus minus cancel. It comes here and becomes 8 kg weight. Got it? Right. So you have to think about which relation we have to use depending on the given data. So by using this you can do it.
Sir, as a parallelogram, we can take that as score no, sir. QR as score and we can buy
QR
as score no, sir. Parallelogram.
as whole.
Yes, sir. So no, sir. Parallelogram, opposite is equal, no, sir. Then the angle we can take with trigonometry itself, sir. Can you do like that?
Can you say once again?
Sir, we are taking P vector as 4 no, sir.
This is O, this is say P, this is Q, and this is R.
Yes, sir. QR will be equal to OP, no, sir.
QR is equal to OP.
Yes, sir. We can take, sir. Then that's 30 degrees, sir. Then,
Which is 30 degree.
sir, angle between QOR, sir.
Where is given 30 degree?
Sir, 120 degrees, sir. 90 here.
This is 120.
Ah,
So this is 90, so this will be
30.
30. Yes.
Then oppositely, internally opposite will be 90 degrees, sir. The QR will.
This is 90.
Ah,
This will be
60, sir.
Yes.
Then by trigonometry, you can take that as
yes.
sine 1 by 2.
Right. Right. So here, what do we want? Q.
Yes, sir. We get to
So
sine
for
1 by
that,
2. Sine 1 by 2 can take. Sine 30 can
you
take.
can take the angle and you can take it. Different ways you can do it. So this is because you know already how to find magnitude and directions and the relations. These relations, then you can do it. If we can, that's why if you have an idea of working out those, you can try that way also. This is one of the ways. Yes. Right. It's done. Next. It's question number 31. Now, anyone? Yes, beside 31. 33. 33. No problem. 33. It is given that two forces whose magnitudes are in the ratio 3:5 give resultant of 35 Newton. If the angle between them is 60 degree, the magnitude of each force is. Two forces whose magnitudes are in the ratio of 3 and 5 give a resultant of 35. If the angle between them is 60, the magnitude of each force is. Yes? Can I raise this one?
Yes, sir.
Keep. Right. 30. 33. It is given that the two forces whose magnitudes are in the ratio of 3:5, F1 by F2 is equal to 3 by 5. 3 by 5. Give a resultant of R is equal to how much? 35 Newton. If the angle between the forces is 60 degree, magnitude of each force, then what is F1 and what is F2? Is the question. You can take this as 3 by 5 ratio means you can take the first force is 3x and second force is 5x. You can take yes. Then if you find x value by using the given data, you can find F1, F2. How can you find? By using the expression of R, as R is equal to, for two forces, f1 square plus f2 square plus 2 f1 f2 cos theta. Here we can take f1 is equal to 3 by 5 f2 or f2 is equal to you can write 5 by 3 f1. Any one form you can take by finding it, because r is given. By finding that f1 or f2 you can do it. Otherwise you can take it as 3 by 5 means it is 3 times of some value. This is 5 times. What is this? This is 3 times of some value. This is 5 times of some value. That's value you can take it as x. That way also you can do it. So the same question you can do in different ways. Right? So here let us try to substitute any one way. As r is 35. R is equal to 35 square root of. Let us try to find f1 first. So for finding f1, let us try to write f1, f2 in terms of, we can take f2. So to write as f1 is equal to 3 by 5 f2. So substitute it. Here we get f1 3 by 5 f2. Here f2 will be there. Only f1 unknown will be there. Theta is given as how much? 16. That f2 you have to calculate. So how can you find? It is f1 is 3 by 5 f2 whole square plus f2 square plus 2 into f1 is 3 by 5 f2 into f2 into cos 16. Yes? Right. Next. Simplify this. What do you get? 3 by 5 square into f2 square. f2 square. Here 2 into 3 by 5 into f2 square. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. 2 square gets cancelled here. So we get f2 squares. f2 square if we take out common, then we get square root of 9 by 25 plus what is this? 1 plus here 3 by 5 into f2 square. f2 square you can bring out into f2 is equal to 35. So simplify it. We take LCM 25, then we get 25. So 9 under root 9 plus 25 plus 5 into 3 15. So into f2 is equal to 35. So what is this? 25 plus 15 40 plus 9 49 by 25. Root of 49 by 25 is 7 by 5. So we get from this you can say f2 is equal to 35. It is 7 by 5. So cross multiply becomes 5 by 7 into 5 by 7. 7 5 into 5 25. So f2 is equal to 25 Newton. Once you know f2, right? Then you can find f1. So 3 by 5 into 25. So it is 5 into 3 15. So you get f1 is equal to 15. f2 is equal to how much? 25. Right? So this is one of the way. So which option is right? 15 and 25. Next 35. Any problem? Any doubt in 35? 37. 37. It is given that the directional cosines of a vector are given as cos alpha is 4 by 5 root 2 and cos beta is 1 by root 2 and cos gamma is 3 by 5 root 2. Then the vector is. So you have given what is the directional cosines. Where is this? If you resolve a given vector in 2 dimensions, if you resolve a vector in 2 dimensions, just if you have this x-axis, this y-axis, a vector, this is theta. So then, or Ax will be A cos theta, A cos theta plus A sin theta, J also can be. Whereas in 3 dimensions, do you remember that resolution of the vector in 3 dimensions? Yes? Yes or no? If a vector is placed in 3-dimensional space, so that if it is making an angle alpha with x-axis, beta with y-axis, and gamma with what? Z-axis, then the vector is given, can be expressed as axi plus ayj plus azk, where ax, ay, az are given in terms of directional cosines. Here we have defined cos alpha is x by a. From that you can write x is equal to a cos alpha, ay is equal to a cos beta, az is equal to a cos gamma. So if you substitute, you can write the vector as a vector is equal to in terms of x. When cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma are given and vector magnitude is given. Question number 37. A value is given S. Then the vector A vector is what? Magnitude of cos. Okay. Cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma are given. So is this A cos alpha? Cos alpha is x by a, right? So x is equal to a cos alpha. So you are asking to find the vector only, right? So here you can take directly. So if the other way you can do one way. You observe the ratio here, cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. Okay, then we can understand that we have one relation. Cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. Yes? So from this, we know cos alpha is x by a. X by a. Its value is given as 4 by 5 root 2. 4 by 5 root 2 plus 4 square plus cos beta is 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2. Very great. Don't copy it. Just for to give you an idea, just I am giving you just multiple comparison. Plus, you don't need to take a plus. Why I am taking this relation is to find A. Every component should have here cos alpha, cos beta is equal to ay by a. This cos gamma should have is equal to az by a. Okay, denominators of every term should be common. But here cos alpha is given as how much? 4 by 5 root 2. This is given as 1 by root 2. This is given as 3 by 5 root 2. This is only root 2. So multiply both numerator and denominator with 5 by 5. You write it as 5 by 5 root 2. Now denominator is common everywhere. That will be your A. Can you take A as like this? Then put it here and substitute and you will get the vector. So like this you have to understand how to get A. A is not given directly. So this value you have to get A and substitute. Okay? So time up. I am winding now. So 30 from 39 to 45. If you have any questions, we'll see later.